My name is Dalia and welcome to my vlog. Before we start, little disclaimer. While living in this country for more than 12 years, obviously I was changing the places where I lived. So I had the chance to see different type of buildings, different safety types. And well, the first one I was living in, it was like a house, and I was renting a room. So I was paying for the room, and we had the common living room, which one we was using, every one of us, and also bathrooms and kitchen as well. We were sharing with other people. Also, I was living in the building. There was inside the garden, and there was a man in the first floor living and taking care of a garden of the flowers. He was cutting and taking care of the trees, of the grass, all that stuff, right? He was taking care of delivery or calling or saying those kind of things. And I was living in another type of building. There was a intercom. So you understand what kind of things, like if some, I'm not going to explain what the intercom means, so obviously you all know. And I was living in another building. There was a cashier. So also the building in the first floor, who is taking care of people if someone coming. So it's like more safety, right? Those persons know who's living in the building. He's looking after the cameras, and he sees the parking, all lots, all those stuff. And if you have visitors to your flat, he might call you directly to your flat before that person gets to your flat and gets to the elevator, right? So if you ever live in this kind of environment, you obviously know what I'm talking about, right? So the situation that happened to me, which one I believe I'm quite lucky that the end of the story was a happy story. Yeah, the first story I will call champagne for free. Well, it happened, I don't remember quite which the day it was, but that I just remember was I was in a party with my best friend, and we was coming home. So obviously we was a little bit drunk, funny, and all that stuff. So we came to the flat, and the flat which one I was renting back then, they have an intercom, and obviously when you signing the contract to have a right to live in that flat, there is one of the paragraphs where you are not allowed to let in the building the people who doesn't live in there. And you can of course visitors cannot come to you. It's okay, like if you have brother, sister, boyfriend or girlfriend, but if someone you really sure that that person doesn't live there, for example, if someone calling to me, I'm opening for them, right? But if the person out of the street calling, he has to say that it's a postman, and from your window obviously you might see, if the window is quite in a kind of place where you can see the people in the front of the door. Obviously in the new buildings these days, even inside the intercom and the video, so you obviously see the face, even you don't have to be on the first or low ground. However, I was very lucky in that building. So from my kitchen window, I could see the main door. And as I said, with my best friend, we came home, was in a very good mood. We was trying to make a dinner, and we got a call in our flat. I was a little bit worried who's my call in the middle of the night, because it was about, I think it was about after 1 hour or something, after midnight approximately. I don't really remember, something like that. So I'm not quite sure who's that person. It's kind of my late night, and it was a winter time. It was raining, windy, not really good weather, and I was hearing that keep calling thing, and I pick up the phone, so intercom, and I was asking who is that person is, and I had heard in another back end the voice of a young man, all trembling, and shivering because the voice was really, can tell the way he was speaking things. I could tell that he was slightly dizzy, you know what I mean, and a little bit kind of feel cold. He was saying that he lives upstairs. I was saying which flat, because I knew above us there is a living young man, but I never saw him. I just heard sometimes the voices who's coming, but as I said before in the previous videos, in this country, all buildings, the walls are very tiny, so you can hear properly what other people doing, cooking or whatever. Yeah. So I kind of knew who lives upstairs, but as I said before, I never saw the face. My best friend, with who I lived back then, she said to me, "Don't let him in. You know, we have a contract. It says we cannot let anyone enter who we don't know." However, I don't know how to call this feeling, but I had a feeling to come to the window. So I looked at the window and I saw the man. He was in a white t-shirt, suit t-shirt, and I was all shivering because it was raining and cold, right? He was asking me like this to let him in. He said, "I'm living here. I'm not gonna let you without gift and all that stuff." He was really trying to get in. He was saying very good words. He was waving with the hands that it's me, I'm living over there. But as I said before, the way how he spoke, you could really tell that he's drunk, right? However, I just opened up the door and I pressed the button and let him in. And I heard him by the steps wiggling around, and then he get to the upstairs flat. And I heard bottles, all that stuff. So I was like, even get scared. I was like, thinking maybe I let someone, like, you know, a beggar or who knows what. However, after a couple of minutes, I heard the knock on my own flat door. I get so scared. I was like, what to do now? And my best friend was like, you see, you let some stranger in, and now we have someone getting in our flat. But apparently, it was the same boy who lives upstairs, and he brought me free champagne. He was saying thank you to me that you are letting me in. And later on, next day, he was nice, not drunk. And in the evening, he came and said thank you again. And he even introduced himself, who is him and which flat he lives actually. Well, it was kind of nice meeting to know the person who lives. And also I got the free champagne. And I helped someone. Honestly speaking, I don't know what kind of feeling it was inside me, but I wanted kind of help. I saw his situation, that he's only in a shirt or wet shirt, and he's so desperate to get in. And he was clearly saying the flat number, which one I really knew which is above us. So I let him in, right? So the next story is also about the boy. However, I wasn't that good, which later I find out that a very good decision I made. It was quite late night, not after midnight, but as I remember, it was like after 9 or something. I come back from work, and in the building where I lived, there is an intercom as well. So it's like a little phone inside your flat. There is no video, but so you cannot see actually who is next to the door, but you picking up the phone, you can hear the voice, and you're asking who is it, right? So it's kind of safe, but not safe at the same time, because you don't see the person, right? And then I was coming, and with the mine flat door and other people's also flat doors, there's like a balcony. Who lives in London, you might know, and you might see those kind of type of buildings. Basically can see a little bit some people around there. Is it a street? If that type of balcony is in the front of, like, you can see the front of those, it's okay. But in that building where I lived, it was inside yard, type of garden, you may say, like this. and I saw the boy. He was, I was passing and was coming too close to my door to open up, and he was asking my help to let him in. It also was night, as I said. It was raining. It was cold. It was one winter time, right? But for some reason, I was looking at him, and I don't know. All his body language told me, or inside the feeling, but he's lying. He doesn't live here. And I asked him which flat he lives. He was keep saying that he living with his auntie, and the auntie is outside of London, and he doesn't have a keys because she didn't give him keys of a flat, but he really know where the flat is. And I was like, okay, wait a second, which flat number your auntie lives? And he said the number, which one actually impossibly it couldn't be in this building, because that building where I lived had just 3 floors and just 12 flats. The number which one he was saying, it was above 20, which is impossible to be in my building where I live. So for very lucky reason, my mind was like, I don't know, I just asked and I got an answer. And I said to him in a very cold manner, darling, you do not live here, and your auntie as well. Sorry, I'm not gonna open for you the door. When I get to the flat, I was a little bit scared because I was very cold to the person, for the stranger, which one I don't know. Maybe he really lives there, maybe he's just because he's tipsy, you know what I mean? And that's why he done mistake. But at the same time, I was holding myself, I was like saying to myself, now I done very good, correct decision. I didn't let any stranger, because who knows who he is, right? And next day, that's also at the evening, I come back home, I was cooking, and the windows of my kitchen, they are kind of, you can see from the windows the street, the main street. So through the curtains, I saw the lights, police was blue, red lights, and a little bit of a sound. So I get a little bit worried, what's going on? I get next to the window, I open the curtain, and I saw a lot of police cars. Was like 1, 2, 3, another. Some with lights, another was without lights, and there was a black figure. I think it was a man. Later I find out that it was a man. And they catch him, they put their handles on the arms and quickly covered them. So I saw that there's a tall boy, and really, really reminding me the same boy which one was last day. Obviously, everyone in the building was very curious what's going on, so we went to the windows. So the open windows, I was communicating with my neighbors, and I asked them what's going on, and they was telling me it's kind of the same thing what happened to me. They were saying that the boy was trying to get in the flat, was telling him some reasons, that his auntie, all that stuff, the same lie like he was saying to me. So apparently he was a criminal. I'm not sure what kind of thing bad he had done and for what reason he was around. I don't know all the story. I just know that he was trying to get to the building. I didn't let him in, and the police catch him next day. So in some point, I done very good decision. So as you see, there was the 2 situations. The same kind of thing happened. 2 boys trying to get inside the building. Just apparently, one of them really had the flat there, and another nope. Interesting thing, This is a way I'm not really quite sure remember why I had the fat feeling, or the boys was the body language of them, because both of them was feeling cold. I could tell from the body reaction, and the voices was really kind of, you can tell that they are kind of saying true. But for some reason, in that next situation, I don't know, there were some things what you could catch that it's a lie. I'm very curious. Did it ever happen this kind of situation for you? Kind of similar things? but you've done different decisions. And you end up finding out that your decision was the right way to do. I'm very curious. I hope you liked the video. Let's share your thoughts, comments. Maybe you have some similar stories, situation happened to you. Maybe not because the same way like for me, or maybe different things, stories. I would like to know. Let's share and talk about it, right? And do you believe in those kind of things like a sense, which one you cannot explain? I'm very curious, like some little bit mysterious powers as well. In any case, put the like, subscribe, comment, and see you around. Bye bye.